All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're not looking at stocks or crypto. Nope. We're going to be deconstructing something pretty different. A sales document, a prospectus that's trying to convince you to buy gold directly from a source in Cameroon. We're going to pull apart their sales pitch piece by piece and see how it works. So just to be super clear, we're not here to figure out if the gold is real or if this company is legit. That's not the point. What we're focusing on is the pitch. How do they try to build trust and make you want to buy, especially when you're thousands of miles away? Let's start with their core promise. And there it is. Simple, right? Quality gold delivered with trust. In just 5 little words, they're hitting on the 2 biggest worries any potential buyer would have. First, is the product any good? And second, am I actually going to get it? This isn't just a catchy tagline. It's literally the foundation for their entire argument. Okay, so who's actually making this promise? Let's see how the document introduces the company itself. Who are they trying to convince you they are? Well, they call themselves a reliable gold seller, dealing in authentic gold. You got to pay attention to the language here. For anyone looking at this from the outside, the market can seem, kind of sketchy and risky. So using words like reliable and authentic right up front, that's a very deliberate move to make them sound stable and legitimate from the get-go. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. See, they don't just say, hey, trust us. They try to back it up by listing these pillars: transparency, security, customer satisfaction. Every single one of these words is hand-picked to calm a specific fear a customer might have. I mean, this is a classic strategy for building confidence. So once they've tried to build that foundation of trust, the pitch pivots. Now it's all about the product itself. How do they make you actually want the gold? Well, they start detailing its quality. And this is a perfect example of their approach. It's a clever mix, you know? You've got the emotional pole who doesn't want something with a shiny and lustrous finish, but that's blended with these really critical reassurances, like genuine, pure, and importantly, government approved. They're selling you the dream, but they're also selling you the security to go with it. Let's just zero in on that phrase for a second. Government approved sourcing. That is a really powerful claim. For a buyer halfway across the world, it suggests this isn't some shady back alley deal. It implies the whole thing is above board, it's documented, it's officially recognized. That's designed to make the perceived risk drop way, way down. So here's the key takeaway, right? Every single promise they make is a direct counterattack against the specific fear. When they say pure and unadulterated, what they're really saying is, don't worry, it's not fake or watered down. Safe and secure is their answer to your fear of getting scammed. They're just systematically knocking down every objection you might have. Of course, it's one thing to own the gold, but it's another thing entirely to get it in your hands. So the prospectus has to tackle the next big hurdle: logistics. And they do that with a promise of secure and fast delivery. The whole pitch here is about making it seem easy. The words smooth and timely, they're chosen to paint a picture of a process that's completely hassle-free. They want you to think that getting a shipment of gold from Cameroon to your front door is basically as simple as ordering a book online. And they don't just say, it's fast. No, they get specific, really specific, 1 to 3 days. Giving a concrete number like that is meant to create this powerful sense of efficiency and reliability. It feels real. It feels measurable. And to really hammer home that feeling of, don't worry, we got this, they break the whole delivery process down into 3 simple steps: advanced packaging, a secure courier, and worldwide delivery. By laying it out like this, they make this super complex business of international shipping sound simple, safe, and totally under their control. So, they've built their case for trust. They've made a case for the product quality. They've told you the logistics are solid. Now, the prospectus moves in for the close. It's time for the final pitch. They frame their big conclusion with this direct question, one they're immediately ready to answer themselves. It's a classic sales technique, right? It lets them summarize all their best points into one neat little argument. So, what's their big answer? And there you have it. That's the whole value proposition wrapped up in a bow. And notice the key phrase there: peace of mind. It's not just about the gold, it's about how you'll feel. They are absolutely selling a feeling of security just as much as they're selling a shiny metal. That's the real emotional core of their entire pitch. And, of course, no sales pitch is complete without a call to action. Here, it's a simple email address. It's kind of an interesting choice, too. A Proton Mail account, which is an encrypted email service people often pick for privacy. This is it. This is the final step, where someone goes from just reading the pitch to maybe
just maybe, starting a real transaction. And that really brings us to our final thought for today. When you break down a document like this, one that's so carefully built to create confidence and overcome fear, it makes you wonder, in a global market where buyers and sellers might never ever meet face to face, how much does a deal really depend on the product itself versus the power of a really, really persuasive story?